Ako, Your Honor.
Would you know, sir, kung kailan inassign ito sila ni Superintendent Marcos sa CIDG Region 8 kasama po ng I heard na hindi ho sila inassign ng hiwalay, inassign ho sila buo doon. So
Totoo yan, Your Honor.
So may I know po kung kaninong authority ang pag-assign doon?
Sa akin po, Your Honor.
So you're aware po, sir, na buo silang inassign ho doon?
Yes, Your Honor. I instructed my director for personnel and records management na itong mga tao na ito ilagay sa CIDG. Then I called up Director CIDG that itong mga tao ito ilagay sa CIDG Region 8, Your Honor.
So before they were assigned to CIDG Region 8, they were not part of CIDG?
Parang may iba ata na dati na, Your Honor, pero a number of them ay from outside CIDG. Yung iba from Region 8. Basta hindi sila originally CIDG. Nilagay lang doon.
So sabay-sabay silang inassign doon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sige. Thank you, sir. That would be all, Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. 1 minute suspension kasi yung witness natin nagwiwi lang. Code na yan. Guess what wiwi means. And then, nasan na yung ano? There is a certification that is being prepared. So, to make use of the time, itatanong na lang ako kay Mr. Dayan para maayos naman itong mga puwang sa testimony. Mr. Dayan,
yes, sir.
Kailan ka naging driver ni Secretary de Lima?
Since 2007 po, sir.
2007. Ilan ang sasakyan noon?
Isa lang po yung naabutan ko sa sasakyan ni ma'am, sir.
Isa lang, isa
Opo.
pa. Hanggang kailan ang iisa lang sasakyan niya?
Ang matagal,
Ilang
sir,
taon?
hanggang doon sa pag-upo niya na sa, yung sarili lang niya po, sir, Yung sarili lang niya. Matagal po.
So, iisa lang sasakyan niya from 2007 until umupo siya as DOJ Secretary.
Opo, sir. Doon sa seat, sir, meron namang issue sa kanila.
Okay. Nung naging DOJ Secretary siya, kailan yon?
2010 po.
2010. Ilan ang sasakyan niya kasamang issue?
Pali yung issue, dalawang bigay sa kanya, sir, Isang Starik, una Fortuner, Starik, saka yung dalawang Rebo na sasakyan ng mga security.
Dalawa ginagamit na sasakyan ng security.
Opo, sir.
Ikaw ay driver, security
Opo,
at the
sir.
same time.
Opo.
Pero mas driver ka kaysa pagiging security.
Mas malamang po ang pagdadrive.
Huwag mong sabihin malamang kasi hindi tayo nanguhula. Mas driver ka o mas security ka? Alin?
Mas Ano po ako sa driver?
Mas driver. Ibig sabihin, nung DOJ Secretary na siya sa 2010 yun, ano?
Yes, sir.
Ikaw ang driver ni DOJ Secretary.
Dalawa po kami, sir.
Meron ba tayong sasakyan na dalawang driver?
Hindi, magpapalitan po.
Nagpapalitan.
Opo.
Sino yung pangalawang driver?
Yung tinatawag namin na Bantam, Rolando ang pangalan niya, sir.
Alternate driver lang siya.
Opo.
1 to 10, malamang ilang porsyento lang siya nagiging driver. 90% ka na driver, 10% lang yung si Bantam.
Parang ganun po, sir.
Okay. So kung 90% ka na driver, ulitin ko, no? Driver ka. Pag nagpupunta si Secretary de Lima sa Bucor, ikaw ang nagmamaneho.
Minsan po, hindi palagi.
Uulitin ko, 1 to 10, 90% kang driver o 10% kang driver o ano?
Mas lamang po ang pagdadrive ko papuntang sa kanya, sir.
Okay. Didiretsin mo, ha? Huwag kang paligoy-ligoy. Naninilikado tuloy yung pagiging witness
Kasi po,
mo
sir,
sa
minsan hindi
Witness
naman
Protection Program. So, Mr. Dayan, kinig ka. Under Section 36, Rule 130 ng Rules of Court, ikaw ang competent witness. Ikaw ang magtitistigo, magsasabi sa lahat ng alam mo. Hindi yung sa abogado mo. Ha? Mag-a-advise lang ang abogado, sasabihin huwag kang sumagot dahil iniipit mo ng sarili mo dyan, nagkakaroon ka na ng incriminating testimony or baka madisgrasya ka, ma-false testimony ka pa. Simple lang ang mga tanong ko. Okay? Pag nagpupunta si Secretary de Lima sa Bucor, there are 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, 90% ikaw ang driver.
Opo.
10% lang si Bantam.
Opo.
Ilang beses nagpupunta si Secretary de Lima in a month sa Bucor?
Sa isang buwan, sir. Nasa siguro po, mga 3 o 4 na beses pumupunta si
Okay.
ma'am.
Kunin natin yung mababa, 3. So, 3 beses mo siyang minamaniho sa Bucor.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pag nagpupunta siya sa Bucor, saan siya nagpupunta? Sa opisina ng Bucor
Director po.
Director.
Opo.
Ikaw ang nagmamaneho.
Opo.
Makikita mo kung sino ang mga nandoon. Di ba?
Opo, sir.
Nung naghihiring kami dito, nakita mo ang mukha ni J.B. Sebastian?
Hindi po ako nakapanood sa TV, sir.
Bakit nasaan ka noon?
Nasa bundok na po ako noon, sir.
Nung nagsimula kami, hindi ka pa niyayaya, nasa bundok ka na?
Opo, sir.
Anong?
Tulad po ng sinabi po kasi ko kanina, kaya po ako maagang nagtago dahil doon po sa mga ibang politiko na...
Well, anyway, hanggang doon lang ako kasi siguro tapos na para makauwi na tayo. Nasaan na yung certification? Nandiyan na ba? Ganito po, meron kang... Nasaan na ba? Nag-uusap-usap naman kayo na, no? Nag-usap na kayo ng asawa mo? Kung saan ka pupunta mula dito?
Hindi pa ngayon, sir. Nandun pa po sila sa receiving room.
Kanina nakausap ko yung asawa mo dito sa labas. But anyway, nandito, no? Babasahin ko. English muna. Then babasahin ni Comsec in Tagalog, itra-translate. This is to certify that the House of Representatives Sergeant-at-Arms has taken custody of Mr. Ronnie Palisok Dayan, from the Philippine National Police personnel on November 22, 2016, that upon the request of Mr. Dayan and with no objection from the committee, Mr. Dayan is hereby turned over to the PNP this day, November 24, 2016, at the House of Representatives, Quezon City, in good physical and medical condition. The certification is issued for record purposes. Signed, Lieutenant General Roland M. Detabali, AFP retired, Sergeant at Arms. Pipirman dito, attested by Attorney Alberto Tu Borbon Reyes. Kasi kukonforme ka, papayag ka na inahabilin ng House of Representatives ang katawan mo, buhay mo sa PNP. In-examine ka ni Salvador Richard M. Dizon, MD, Director Medical and Dental Services, House of Representatives, and then ako ang last na pipirma. And so, paki-translate lang, sabihin mo, para maintindihan naman ni Mr. Dayan, and let it be of record in Filipino.
Ito ay isang pagpapatunay na ang House of Representatives, Sergeant at Arms, ay nagkakustodya o pangalaga kay Mr. Ronnie Palisok Dayan mula sa Philippine National Police noong Nobyembre 22, 2016 nasa kahilingan ni Mr. Dayan at nawalang pagtutol mula sa komite ng komiteng ito, si Ginoong Dayan ay inihahabilin at pinagkakatiwala sa PNP ngayong araw na ito, Nobyembre 24, 2016, at the House of Representatives, Quezon City, na nasa mabuting kalagayang pisikal at nasa mabuting kondisyong medikal. Ang pagpapatunay na ito ay nilagdaan at inilalabas ngayon para for record purposes, para po sa aming pangangasiwang ng mga dokumento. Ito po ay pinirmahan ni General Roland Detabali.
Ngayon, para doble siguro, meron tayong doktor dito. Okay? I-examinin ka.
Opo, sir.
Para tunay na you are in good physical and medical condition. Sino itong doktor natin? Dr. Ethel Cayetano, House Medical Service. Paki-check up lang. 1 minute recess. Matagal ba yan? Okay, napirmahan na ba? Para mag-adjourn na tayo.
Ano yung ano nun?
Yan ang tanong na wala tayong pakialam. Session is resumed. Make it a record that at this point, Mr. Ronnie Dayan is signing the certification with the assistance of his counsel, Attorney Reyes. And make it also a record that this document, which will contain the signature of Mr. Dayan, his counsel, the chief PNP, the chief medical, and well, my signature as vice chair of the Committee on Justice. And also make it a record that the signatures of Dayan, of his counsel, and all signatories in that document are being made under the watchful eyes of media.
Not yet. Actually, that one congressman asked that question. Dayan claimed that he was not sure that he was actually collecting money from Espinosa because he didn't bother to look at the envelopes that he was collecting from him. He was just filling them out. He said kinakapalang niya. But
Certainly.
actually, there was one portion in his affidavit where he said that he was collecting money. He mentioned the word pera.
All
So
right.
these are little things, but if you look at it quite deeply, you would notice that there are certain questions being raised by this particular aspect of his account.
Or certainly baffles the mind and challenges common sense. And if I may add one more thing, it was Senator Richard Gordon who pointed this out. According to Kerwin Espinosa, the first time that Ronnie Dayan had reached out to him was in August of 2015. But Dayan himself said that he had already cut all communication with Senator Leila de Lima as early as 2014. So there's a bit of a chronological gap there in that narration.
Yeah, actually, even PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa earlier acknowledged the contradicting statements coming from Ronnie Dayan and Kerwin Espinosa. He acknowledged that sentiment coming from congressmen that they were also incredulous or baffled by certain aspects of those conflicting testimonies. And he said it's up to the investigators, for example, from the Department of Justice, to determine the veracity of their individual statements. Actually, the chairperson of the House Committee on Justice earlier, Congressman Omali, admitted that there's no such thing as perfect testimony, and that there could indeed be certain conflicts or conflicting accounts from certain testimonies by certain witnesses. And it's up to the, for example, the prosecutors, the Department of Justice, to thresh out these differences or identify certain inconsistencies and determine who's telling the truth.
All right, I have just a few more questions, but we'd like to let the audience know that we're looking at live pictures of Ronnie Dayan being formally turned over to the PNP. Christian, from your vantage point there at the House of Representatives, we did hear Malabon Representative Sandoval saying that the reason why he voted to release this witness, referring to Dayan, is because he is absolutely unbelievable. I'm paraphrasing there, but from your vantage point, do you get the sense that this is a common sentiment of frustration and perhaps even disgust by some of the lawmakers present at this hearing?
To be sure, there's a good number of congressmen who are dismayed or not satisfied with the testimony by Ronnie Dayan, because the build-up to this particular testimony was quite high. This was expected to be the clincher. He was supposed to be the man of the hour. He was supposed to tie loose ends, to provide the missing links in that investigation into the alleged involvement of Leila de Lima in illegal drugs. But of course, actually one congressman earlier said that perhaps the script, quote unquote, needed to be polished more so that it
Well,
would
certainly,
have been
certainly
more
no.
consistent.
That's right. Certainly no perfect testimony, but there are also testimonies that are too imperfect. Well, you know, we pointed out earlier that after more than 7 hours of questioning by lawmakers, no one is that much more informed about how Senator De Lima allegedly carried out the repeated pocketing of money from drug lords, but for sure we don't have a lack of knowledge about the certain finer details of her affair with her driver bodyguard, but it's a different story altogether. But the question I'm driving at is, after all these star witnesses, all these testimonies, opposing versions of events, after marathon hearings in the Senate and in Congress, what is next? What will this all lead to, Kristen?
Well, it now depends on the Department of Justice to look into the specific testimonies, because there's a complaint or case filed before the Department of Justice against Secretary Leila de Lima. And by the chairperson of the House Committee on Justice admission earlier, this particular testimony would, by Ronnie Dayan, would that actually change the committee report that came out more than a week ago, or more than 2 weeks ago, because the committee has had actually wrapped up its inquiry into the alleged into the illegal drug activities at the New Bilibid prison. But just so happened that Dayan was captured 2 days ago, and that of course people would want to hear what he has to say. But by Congressman Amari's admission, he said that this would be an anticlimactic account. Of course, that's his opinion, because of course people are very, very interested in what Dayan had to say.
Sure. Now, we know, you're immersed in the beat. Do you get a sense that people are now hankering for Senator De Lima to come out and clear her name beyond just her blanket denials? She's already come out on another program, finally admitting specifically that she did have an affair that lasted for quite a while with her ex-bodyguard, Ronnie Dayan. She was not making those kinds of statements before. Now we know that perhaps we do not have yet that quantum of evidence, quality of evidence, to be able to pin her down on her involvement in the illegal drug trade and receiving drug payoffs. But we do know she had admitted to certain activities that would put her moral ascendancy or integrity in question as a sitting senator, as a former justice secretary. Are you hearing now that people are saying, it's time for her to come out and say something more beyond this is not true?
Earlier, I spoke with a couple of congressmen who shared that particular sentiment, that perhaps it's time for Secretary De Lima to finally come out and answer point by point the allegations against her. But of course, you have to understand that there's a difference between the court of law and the court of public opinion. It's different when you make certain admissions or responses before the court of public opinion, before the media. Of course, those statements would have an impact or effect on your case before, for example, the Department of Justice. So these are the things that observers are also looking at. Of course, it's also one thing that a person like Secretary De Lima would admit to that relationship with Ronnie Dayan, but it doesn't necessarily follow that just because it didn't make any specific admissions earlier about that relationship, that she was also lying or not telling the whole truth regarding her alleged involvement in illegal drugs. So those are two different things as far as the number of observers are concerned.
Christian, we may or may not have the answer to this question just yet, but do we know exactly where the PNP will be taking Ronnie Dayan now that he has been turned over to their custody?
I don't have the specific information yet, but we'll try to find out later, Nancy.
All right, and definitely we will be talking to you as this story develops. Christian Esguerra reporting live from the House of Representatives. Thanks so much for that report. All eyes on the House of Representatives as Ronnie Dayan testifies in the Justice Committee's probe into the illegal drug trade inside the state penitentiary. Lawmakers have described Dayan as the missing link in their investigation. A look at Dayan's affidavit in this report.
A much-awaited testimony from Ronnie Dayan, the former driver and alleged bagman of Senator Laila De Lima. Reading his affidavit, Dayan repeated what he already told the media after he was arrested in La Union and turned over to the House of Representatives. First, his relationship with the former Justice Secretary.
Meron po kaming relasyon ni dating Secretary Laila De Lima na tumagal ng 7 taon. Mga 2 to 3 months po pa lang ako sa law firm niya, alam po ng pangalawang anak ni ma'am ang aming relasyon. Alam din po ni ma'am na may asawa po ako ng mga panahong iyon.
And De Lima's alleged dealings with Kerwin Espinosa.
Meron po akong natanggap na pera mula kay Kerwin Espinosa para kay Secretary De Lima, mga 5 times po. Ang perang inaabot sa akin, nasa paper bag na maliit. Hindi ko po binibilang at hindi rin po sinasabi ni Kerwin kung magkano yon. Basta ito na yung pera kay ma'am.
Dayan also explained
basta ito na yung pera kay ma'am.
Dayan also explained why he snubbed the House hearings.
Gustong-gusto kong
Sabi niya, takot daw siya. Meron siya kinatakot ang mga politiko ng Pangasinan. Baka siya daw ang pinagbintangan na nagdawit doon sa mga matrix sa drug matrix. Yan ang sabi niya.
pang umeskapo. Ang mga syong balita, umpisa na!
Ronnie Dayan inilaglag ang ex na si Senator Laila De Lima. Drug lord na si Kerwin Espinosa, 5 beses daw na nagbigay ng pera. Naging relasyon nila, idinetalye rin.
parang nasampal ko siya ng bahagya kasi si ma'am. Sabi ko, ubusin mo yata kaming mga security mo.
Senadora nag-text umano para sabihan si Dayan na magtago at huwag siputin ang pagdinig ng kamera.